Welcome to class, everyone. I am just absolutely thrilled to have you here for this explainer, because today we're diving into one of the most important, totally invisible forces that literally drives our modern world. I want you to get ready to master a fundamental rule of the universe. It sits right at the very heart of electricity and electromagnetism.
To get our gears turning, let me ask you something. How exactly does your smartphone charge when you just drop it on one of those wireless pads? No cables, no plugging anything in. I mean, it kind of feels like magic, right? Well, what if I told you that the invisible magic powering your phone is the exact same phenomenon used by those massive hydroelectric dams to power entire cities? No joke. They both rely on the exact same physical principles.
And that principle actually has a name. Before we get into the nuts and bolts, let's lay down our fundamental definition. Electromagnetic induction is the production of an electromotive force, or EMF, in a conductor whenever the magnetic flux linked with it changes. Okay, I know, that sounds like a massive mouthful of heavy physics jargon, but honestly, don't sweat it. By the end of our lesson today, you're going to understand every single word of this perfectly. The really crucial point is right there at the very end, whenever the magnetic flux changes. Just keep that word in the back of your mind, change.
So, here is our syllabus for today's explainer. 1. The invisible magic. 2. The core ingredients. 3. The step-by-step process. 4. The laws of physics. And 5. Powering the modern world.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the invisible magic.
Our story begins way back in the 19th century. At the time, scientists already knew that electricity created a magnetic field, but the big question was, could magnetism create electricity? Well, the guy who cracked the code was Michael Faraday. Back in 1831, Faraday proved that simply putting a stationary magnet next to a wire did absolutely nothing, just zero effect. But if you move that magnet through a coil of wire, boom, it generated electricity. And you know what's truly inspiring? Faraday had very little formal education, yet his brilliant experiments proving that motion and change were the absolute keys here, while they completely transformed electrical engineering forever.
Okay, moving right along to section 2, the core ingredients.
The first major concept we need to tackle is magnetic flux. This is a big one, class. Magnetic flux is basically just the total amount of magnetic field passing through a given surface area. To visualize this, just imagine sunlight streaming through a window. A larger window lets in more sunlight, right? But if you tilt that window, the amount of direct sunlight coming through actually changes. Well, magnetic flux behaves exactly the same way. It's really just the amount of that invisible magnetic field crossing through our wear loop.
Our second key ingredient is electromotive force, or EMF. Now, despite its name, EMF is not actually a physical force. So actually scratch that idea. Instead, think of it as the electrical push that we measure in volts. It's the energy supply that drives electrons through our circuit. And without this EMF push, well, no current flows, and zero electrical energy is transferred.
Let's look at section 3, the step-by-step process.
All right, grab your notebooks and let's step up to the chalkboard to see how this actually works. This waterfall analogy brilliantly illustrates why motion is just so incredibly critical here. Imagine you're standing under a waterfall, holding a bucket. If the water is just hovering there, perfectly still, like frozen in time, your bucket is never going to fill up. But if the water actively flows down into the bucket, it fills. In our physics lesson, a constant stationary magnetic field is exactly like that still water. It does absolutely nothing for us. But a changing magnetic field, that is the flowing water. The wire conductor can only collect electrical energy when that magnetic field is actively changing.
So let's map this out like a recipe. Step 1. We place a conductor, like a copper coil, inside a magnetic field. Nothing happens yet. Step 2. We change the magnetic flux. We can do this by moving the magnet closer to the coil, or moving the coil closer to the magnet. That relative motion is the trigger. Step 3. Because the flux is changing, an EMF, that voltage push we talked about, is induced across the conductor. And finally, step 4. If our circuit is closed, that EMF pushes the electrons and electric current flows. But remember, the very second you stop the motion, the current stops dead.
Let's build on this with another everyday analogy, just to make sure it really clicks. Picture holding an umbrella in a rainstorm. The magnetic field lines are the raindrops, and your wire loop is the umbrella. If you change the amount of rain passing through the area of that umbrella, like maybe the rain suddenly gets a lot heavier, or you tilt the umbrella, you are changing the magnetic flux. That change, that disruption, is exactly what forces the electrons in the wire to start moving.
Which brings us to Section 4, the laws of physics.
Now we've got to look at the monumental rules of the universe that actually govern all of this. First up is Faraday's law of induction. It formally states, the induced electromotive force in a circuit is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux linked with the circuit. Okay, but in simple classroom terms, speed matters. The faster you move that magnet, or the faster the magnetic flux changes, the much larger the induced voltage you create. This is exactly why the massive generators at power plants have to rotate at incredibly high speeds to produce all the electrical power we need for our cities.
But what about the direction of that current? Well, that brings us to Lenz's law, which states the induced current always flows in a direction that opposes the change that produced it. You see, the universe demands that energy is conserved. You literally can't get electricity for free. It's kind of like trying to force the two identical north poles of a magnet together. They physically resist your push, right? Lenz's law is that ultimate pushback effect. The current actually fights the motion that created it, ensuring that mechanical work is always required to produce electrical energy.
So how do we maximize our results? I want you to treat this table as your ultimate cheat sheet for your exams, and honestly for real-world engineering. Look at how we can increase that EMF push. We can use a stronger magnetic field. We can move the magnet faster. We can add way more turns of wire to our coil. Or we can make the area of the wire loop larger. Any of these factors increases the rate of flux change, which just completely cranks up the voltage generated.
And finally, Section 5, powering the modern world.
Class, we have officially mastered the theory. Now, it's time to look out the window and see how this actually translates into the technology you use every single day, because the applications of electromagnetic induction are just wildly diverse. I mean, it's the basis for the electric generators powering your entire home and the transformers adjusting voltage on the power lines outside. Remember our very first question? This is exactly how wireless phone chargers transfer energy between coils without a single cable. It's how induction cooktops heat your food safely without an open flame. It's even how an MRI scanner sees inside the human body, and how the pickup on an electric guitar converts vibrating strings into an absolute rock and roll anthem.
But perhaps most importantly for our future, look at these clean technologies. Wind turbines, hydroelectric dams, tidal power stations. Every single one of these relies entirely on electromagnetic induction. We take mechanical motion, like the wind spinning a massive blade, or water turning a heavy turbine, and we use that motion to change the magnetic flux inside a generator, which gives us massive amounts of clean, renewable electrical energy. This physical law is quite literally the backbone of our green energy future.
So, we've come a really long way from Faraday manually pushing a magnet through a coil back in 1831, haven't we? As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to chew on. If a totally invisible interaction between a magnet and a piece of wire gave us the power grid, the electric guitar, and wireless charging, what incredible future technologies are just waiting to be unlocked by this very same phenomenon? Keep your curiosity high, keep asking questions, and I will see you in the next lesson.